Jai Hind. This is Dr. Manoj Srivastava, Assistant Professor in CSC Department in the Akgec Engineering College. Today we will continue the R basics, and in a previous lecture I have already explained about the R basics and left out at the packages. In this lecture we will start with the packages itself. I will be explaining what package is, how that can be utilized, and how it is beneficial for the person who use data analysis, how do data analysis, or also to the technical person and also to the business person peoples who use R programming language. Now we have already seen that in the previous lecture I just mentioned about that R packages can be downloaded, and there are around 30 packages that is being downloaded when you are downloading the R programming language from the specific site or URL that is given in the slide. When we are talking about the R packages actually it refers to the library, that is R library, which holds different sorts of methods that can be utilized in your program. That's why these R packages are very important, and packages that are currently attached to the system, this list is it can be searched out on the path and can be downloaded for the utilization purpose in your programming language. And that searching can be done with the method called search method that has been written here. This can be searched here. What is the package you are searching here? That can be mentioned and utilized here. Now, for example, global environment package statistic type and includes package graphics. Similarly, package GR devices, it includes package datasets and utilities. These are the different packages that is to be downloaded or searched in your downloaded packages, and it is simply done with the help of search method. Another example means how these R packages can be utilized and how we can use this search is a library method. For example, MASS is a data set, or we can say it is a packages which includes this mass data set. This library, selecting the package menu and select load package, a list of available packages. Menu and using select we can load the packages and our system will be displayed. Select one and click OK. The package is now attached to your current R session. This is very important, means how to connect those packages in your current R session via the library function. This can be done by simply calling the library function. If you are working on any of the object or any of the data set that is being utilized in the workspace, command prompt space, and want to include some sort of data set, that can be used with the help of library function. This is the feature of R programming. Now we will see what are the different functions. Library can also be used to list all the available libraries on your system with a short description. In order to know what are the different packages are there or different libraries present in your system, it's very simple. Simply call the method library method. When we will call this library method, what will happen? It will display all those library, all those data sets, all those library packages with a short descriptions. Short description. These are the short descriptions actually. It is describing what actually this package includes. This base includes R base packages. This boot includes bootstrap R, S plus functions canty. Means all these are the packages are included in this package. Class, it includes functions for classification. Cluster for cluster analysis. Code tools, code analysis tools. This is how you can by simply utilizing the method existing in this R package, we can find it out what are the packages we need here in our current workspace, and that can be downloaded as we saw earlier with the help of this library and calling those package calling that particular package, we can include that package into the current R session. This is the very good feature of this R programming language, and this is how we can do. Similarly, if you want to make a graph, I include some graph into our package, into our output activity that is being performed in this data analysis. So this is done with the help of graphics package, which is being downloaded with the help of library function. And now we will see simple code how we can download that package into our current session, or we can install those package in our current session. It's very simple. It includes 4-line code. First, you have to declare the object and assign this object the function. Function is an inbuilt function which helps in including or installing the existing package from the R programming language. And what package you want to include into this current session or install into this current session, you have to mention the different packages that is to be utilized here. And with the object we can add the URL from where this packages can be downloaded and installed in our current session. So that's why it includes 4-line code, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Means we are starting with the function, curly braces, this is opening braces, opening brace, and this one is the closing brace, yani closing bracket actually. And after closing bracket we will call this install method by simply including a round parenthesis after install object. So this will, what it will do, it will simply install these packages in your current session, and we can use, or the programmer who is writing this program can utilize this package into his programming for data analysis purpose. Now it includes, there is a conflict also, conflicting objects also. Means actually conflicting object means what? Means having a same name, similar name, but have different meaning or different purpose. We already know that if you are writing an object in a capital letter, this object will represent another, and similarly if you are naming the same object but with including with the small cases also. So these two object represents as a name for as the same, but since this programming language is case sensitive, this means that these two are different object here. Similarly, we are not going to confuse with this particular objects. What this R programming includes here is, that is conflicting object. And sometimes what happens, we utilize the same name for the different purpose. That's why this has been introduced here, that are conflicting objects. And what exactly it is not recommended to do, but R allows the user to give an object a name that already exists. Means there is possibility that that particular word is already in the R programming, and we have created another object which is having same name as it was present in the, or as it is built in into the programming. When user calls this with the same name, this means what? It represents an object which has been initialized with the value 10, and when it will be called on the command prompt, it will show you result as a 10. And earlier mean, actually mean represents what? Mean of the certain values, which is an inbuilt function. So that's why these two words are conflicting, but R gives freedom to utilize these kind of words also, because new programmer or even known programmer or even a well-versed programmer, he knows that. But sometimes what happens, he calls the same object that has been already present into the packages. So from this kind of confliction, this R programming contains or holds that it do not create any kind of conflict here. This is the crux of this explanation about R conflicting objects. Again, if you will see here, R will look for the object in all the library packages that are currently attached to the R system. R will not want you when you use an existing name. This is the best feature of this R programming. Means already it is existing with the same name, certain function, but the user is writing that same name and it has been utilized differently into that program. But there is no warning from the R programming system or programming tool, and it can be done very efficiently and effectively. That's why it is very good programming language, we can say here. Confliction is being removed here by default, or you can say automatically, this kind of conflicts. The object mean already exists in the base package but is now masked by your object mean. Masking here means what? Means in current session, whatever object you are using, that object will be treated as the current session object which has to be worked upon. It will leave the previous which is already inbuilt. That is what it is being here. Masked means, masked represents masking, that means overlapping the previous object name. To get a list of all masked object, use the function conflict. Means again here a conflict function is there. We can simply call this conflict function to find it out what are the masked objects are in your current session program. This is very best feature of this R programming language. Now this is an example of conflict. The object mean already exists in the base package but is now masked by your object mean. To get list of all masked object, use the function conflict. And now when we will call this conflict function, it will show body and a mean. You can safely remove the object mean with the function rm. Safely, this is very important. Safely remove the object mean with the function, means whatever we are writing our program, since we have used that mean as an object in our programming current session, and we do not want to create any further confliction from the built-in one mean, we will simply remove that mean object by calling rm function without risking deletion of the mean function, by simply calling. Now we will see the source code. You can have input come, since source code actually what we have to write the script file in R programming. This is very one of the best feature of R programming, means we can write a script, means we will write all the statements in a single file, and that single file or source file can be called in our programming language, R programming language, through the command prompt, and can be executed all those commands which is present in the script file. The source function means how it is being done. You have to input to the source function. By simply calling the source function, we have to write all those scripting command that is to be utilized in our program. Function runs a script in the current session, and if the file name does not include a path, the file is taken from the current working directory. Means whatever current directory we are working upon in the R programming language. File, and it will upload all your script code into that particular file. This is what is being done. And similarly, if you want to get the output from those source file, source code into our program, we have to simply utilize this output, that is a function called sync function. This defines the direction of the output, means where your output will be generated. It will be either on your current session console window or in a particular file with certain attributes. Those attributes includes what? If you are handling a file, if you are handling your output on your file, that file must be overridden by append command or split. These two are the command which helps in adding or sending your all information or your output onto the console window. If it is false, this means that file which holds your output will not be added with another extra data into that. That is append. When we are writing append equal to false means we cannot be that cannot be added, any that file cannot be added further. And similarly, if we want to add into that particular file, we have to write this sync code, means whatever output you will be getting into a file, that is my file.txt. If you want to add extra into that, we have to make this append true, and also we want to display this output along with the file on the console window or on the screen. We have to use split is equal to true. That is what it these two attributes means here. Means either it can be false or true depending upon the need of the requirement of your program output, means where you are handling your program and how you are handling your program. This is the one of the good feature of this R programming language. Now in case of graphs, we have already discussed few features in the first previous lecture, that graph is very important part of this R programming language. There are certain graphics which is to be included in your program. There are certain files, for example this PDF file, Windows Meta file, PNG file, JPEG, BMP, PostScript file. All these are different types of graphics file which is to be included, and this can be included with the help of the function that is already present in this programming language, R programming language, in some of the packages present. These functions are PDF, win.meta file, PNG, JPJ function, BMP function, PostScript. So these are the different functions which will help you to include your specific type of file into your program based on the requirement. Either it will be PDF, meta file, PNG. Means these are the category of the different files that is to be included here, and based on your requirement you can use it here. Example is shown here that how this can be included. Suppose I want to include a JPEG file, as it has been shown here that JPEG is a function. JPEG is a function name which includes JPEG type, joint picture export group type file in your graph. How it can be called? So this is an example how it can be called here. Simply you have to, this is an output graph to JPEG file, means whatever graph you are preparing with the help of data set present in your program, that particular graph, if you want it in JPG format, you have to use JPEG function. Similarly, if you want to use BMP or PostScript format, you have to use PostScript or BMP function here in order to convert your file into that particular format. And by calling this plot method, all those plot, whatever data is present in your particular current session data sets, that will be converted into graph, and that graph will be finally stored into the JPG name with a myplot.jpg file in a particular directory, my graph. This is the feature, and by calling this dev.off you will close that particular plot in a particular file. So this is the one of the good feature, means as per requirement of the different format, graphics format file, we can store very effectively here. This helps in reusing the results also, or reusing the graph, or reusing the data set into different example. This is an example of reusing results. Means if you want to reuse that result, how you can use, see this is one of the most useful design features of R is that output of analysis can easily be saved and used as input to additional analysis. Earlier I talked about that the good feature of this R programming is analyzing the existing or historical data. This is the best feature. That's why, and how we can utilize it, this is the example. Means LM is a function which will help you to utilize the existing data into your current session or current program. This will run a simple linear regression of miles per gallon on a car. this is miles per gallon on a car. This is weight using the data frame meta empty cars, and results are sent to the screen. Means meta cars, empty cars data is being utilized for gallon on a car weight, existing weights. Another example of similar, we can store this directly into an object, another object fi. This time the same regression is performed by results are saved under the name fit. This is the variable fit. No output is sent to the screen. However, you now can manipulate the results. And for manipulating, you have to simply call this function is str, and the object that has been the particular data has been stored here. So this is how you can manipulate your data in the R graphic programming. This is what the reusing of result. View the contents structure of it. Assignment has actually created as a list called fit. Means in this fit, a list has been created, and that list can be utilized here. That contains a wide range of information, predicting values, residuals, coefficients, and more. This is an example. You can use help, and there are so many things how to use this reusing. Okay, and in next lecture we will talk about the data inputs, how we are going to input our data set that has been already existing. And in next session we will discuss those things. For today, thank you.